Hi guys, Brain here, and welcome to another commentary video. Today I'm following up on something that I said in yesterday's video where I was going to talk about Dead Hard and its new change and how I feel about it, because it's definitely one of the most controversial perks that has ever been in Dead by Daylight's repertoire. In the history of the game, Dead Hard has always been kind of the big boogeyman that has hovered over killer mains for as long as it's been in existence. It's never seemed to ever have a truly fair iteration. Even the most fair, quote-unquote, iterations of the perk always have something that happens that's super unfair. So it's been a fairly detested perk in its history in the game, but Dead Hard, after the mid-chapter patch, kind of feels better. And it feels better from both sides, and I know it's going to make the Survivors side angry when I say that, but it feels more fair when I use it, because I still run Dead Hard. And when I face it, I don't get as mad at it. So, something about this perk, at least to me, feels better on both sides. And there's actually a lot of simple math that actually backs up why new Dead Hard feels not as terrible, and how it actually ties into, general game balance philosophy, and how, it actually follows good game balance philosophy to a T. So yeah, let's go ahead and talk about it. So why does Dead Hard feel better? Dead Hard feels better because if you think about it, if somebody was running Dead Hard in 6.1, so before you had to have a hook requirement, an unhook requirement to get Dead Hard, that was available to you in the first chase for every player. So every player that you ran into could possibly have Dead Hard, and many often did. You would run into 4-man Dead Hard squads. So that would be 4 Dead Hards in your first chase. Now, obviously, every time you're injured, you have access to this unless the killer's using certain add-ons or perks that cause exhaustion. So that's, 4 more for each health state. So you could have a total of 12 uses of Dead Hard in a single game of Dead by Daylight, which is a lot. For a perk that is as exceptionally strong as Dead Hard is, even in its 6.1 version after it lost its distance, having 12 uses of Dead Hard in a single game is a lot, because each Dead Hard, if hit successfully, could potentially have a chase, extended up to 30 more seconds or more than it should have already been. So they can reach a pallet, they can reach a window, not through the distance, but just hit the endurance and get that speed burst. It's very, very good. So having that happen 12 times is a lot. Is a lot. And now realistically, latency is going to stop you, right? People are going to miss their Dead Hards, people are going to time their Dead Hards wrong, or like I said, latency just completely cucks you out of a use, even though you hit it way too, or you actually hit it at the right time. It's just like, oh well, the server just said no, or the killer was laggy or something like that. But still, even if it's only 10 uses of Dead Hard, let's say 2 people miss theirs, that's 30 seconds each. That's a lot. So let's do the simple math, just using that example. Let's say, we just have a couple players who aren't as good as hitting their Dead Hards, and they, you only hit the 10 out of the 12 Dead Hards that were used to be available in 6.1. So that would save you 300 seconds in the game. 300 seconds. If 10 successful Dead Hards are hit, and on average that extends chase by 30 seconds, that's 300 extra seconds saved in the game, and gens are 90 seconds. So that is 3 gens. It's an odd number. It's 3.33. But that's 3 gens worth of time that is saved just by hitting Dead Hard, which is why Dead Hard has always been strong, is because that extra time bot is, gen time. Match time is gen time in Dead by Daylight. Match time is gen time. So that extra time bot is a lot. It's a lot. That's over half a game of Dead by Daylight, 3.33. It's over half a game of Dead by Daylight if 10 out of 12 people are hitting their Dead Hards. It's not even all of them hitting their Dead Hards. Really, really strong. But obviously, as you know, now in the new mid-chapter patch, Dead Hard has been nerfed to where it only activates or charges when you are unhooked. When you are unhooked. So that is 4 Dead Hards that are just completely taken out of the equation here. 4 Dead Hards that are completely taken out of the equation. So now there are only 8 total Dead Hards that are available to you. Even if everybody, even if everybody hits them, that is only a max use of 8 total Dead Hards in a match that you have to deal with. Conversely, if you do the math on that, even if everybody hits all their Dead Hards, which is probably not likely, if everybody hits all their Dead Hards, that is 240 seconds saved. If they save roughly 30 seconds after they hit their Dead Hard, and that's only just over 2.5 gens. It's 2.66. That's over 2.5 gens. So by taking this out, by taking the first Dead Hard out of every chase in the game, they've essentially removed the ability to buy a single extra gen from the game entirely. That's not even half the gens in the game anymore if everybody was hitting their Dead Hards. Not even everybody, but 10 out of the 12. Now with only 8 uses in the game, literally a whole gen completion is now missing if they all hit it and loop fairly well. Which is a really, really big deal when there's only 5 gens. If there's only 5 gens in the game, having one gone, having all that time saved to where one doesn't pop anymore, that's a big difference. That's a big deal. And I think, you know, at least for killers that aren't like entitled babies, like you're starting to feel that. You feel that like the gens don't go as fast at the beginning of the game because, you know, formerly you would have to deal with those dead hearts right away, which would, you know, buy the 3.33 number, but now it's down to a 2.6. And that's only if they're having that good 30-second chase afterwards. So this is really, really good. And this is why it feels good. And the reason it feels good is because this is just good game balance philosophy. And I've talked about this in several other videos, so I'm sorry if you've heard this before. General game balance philosophy, when it comes to like the powers in games, comes down to rarity versus strength. So an effect can be strong, but the effect has to be rare. That way it's not overpowering, which in Dead Hard's case, in the 6.1 version of it, having 12 Dead Hards in a match was a strong but not rare effect, which kind of broke the rules. Now, the opposite thing you can have is an okay but frequent effect. I think something like barbecue and chili is a great example. You hook somebody, you get aura reading on people on the other side of the map or super far away from you. The effect isn't too OP, it's just info, but you get it every time you hook somebody. So it's frequent, so you kind of like, you know, kind of rounds out. Dead Hard, like I said, had that issue where it was neither rare nor weak. So it was just frequent, but also strong. But by taking away a third of the Dead Hards in a match, period, you are starting to make it more rare, which is why it's starting to feel better. You can argue if it's good yet, or if it's, you know, fully balanced, but it is actually starting to apply the basic principles of game balance philosophy, which is to make it more rare, because the effect is literally the same. You can still cheese it at pallets, sometimes at windows. It still does the dumb stuff it used to, but because it's becoming rare, it's actually starting to balance itself out and kind of remove its painful and unfair effects from your matches, which is why Dead Hard is probably starting to feel better if you've noticed. So yeah, I know that was a lot of math and annoying stuff, and I'm not a math guy either, but like, if you've kind of like caught yourself thinking like, I don't feel like Dead Hard's as annoying as it used to be, this is like why. All this stuff I just explained is why. So let me know if you still find Dead Hard stupid and annoying, or if you're like me where you're like, I feel like it's not as much of a prevalent factor in my matches. And, you know, I'm glad that it's finally starting to follow a little bit more of the general game balance philosophy. Other than that, that's gonna be it for today's video, friends. Thank you so much for rocking and spending time with me today. But I do upload daily, so I will see you tomorrow. But if I do not, I will see you when I see you. Goodbye.